I'm Brittany, and I'm going to be discussing meeting the Alabama Comprehensive Assessment Program, also known as the ACAP, goals with response to intervention. Uh, what led me to this project were the number of students that were not proficient on the ACAP assessment. With the new literacy law, students are going to be retained in third grade if they are not proficient on the ACAP. Because of this, I wanted to see about a way that we could help students reach that goal. According to Alabama Achieves, the ACAP data shows that a little over 20% of third graders are not proficient in reading on their grade level in the third grade. Students in my school were about the same as the state, with a little over 20 students not being proficient on the ACAP reading. The quantitative scores were the scores of the student on the ACAP, while the qualitative portion came from the fidelity and consistency of the intervention. The issues that I discovered were that students in K-3 are not receiving those consistent multisensory, intensive, explicit remedial instruction, and the deficits are growing every year. Since these deficits are not being closed, they are not scoring proficient on the ACAP testing. Students that were in a Tier 3 group, which is still a general ed program, but they were not given the research-based instruction, and it wasn't being taught to fidelity to help move those students closer to grade level. To reach students in this tier, we have to use highly effective strategies. One of those strategies that I came across was guided reading. And guided reading is sometimes thought to be a curriculum that teachers use for instruction, but it's not a curriculum, it's an effective strategy for differentiating instruction in the whole group setting. However, when we implement PST recommendations, we don't always implement them effectively to remediate struggling readers. We have plans that look great on paper, but they are not effective because they're not implemented correctly. Systematic grapheme to phoneme instruction has to be utilized to teach those early literacy skills. We have moved from a whole word approach, and we are using a systematic approach to teach those skills in order for students to be able to decode and encode these words. In a research from Ottinger Ovens, they found that students in schools where the PST recommendations and strategies were implemented to fidelity had a significant difference in their performance from students in schools where those recommendations and strategies were not implemented. So the action plan and timeline for my research will be to use a multisensory research-based intervention, SPIRE, to remediate the students. I use SPIRE for my personal child that has dyslexia. I've used SPIRE for years, and actually SPIRE has given educators access to their program for free, so you're able to implement it and it's not a burden financially. Students are able to take the ACAP in the spring of their second grade year. They'll receive the intervention, and then they'll take the ACAP again at the end of their third grade year. This will allow us time to see if the intervention's working or if it did not work. The plan will start in January to April, and students will begin remediation 3 times a week, and then take the ACAP again in April, and we'll compare their scores to their previous to see if they are proficient now, and we'll also compare scores to peers that are not receiving the remediation. The population for this study will be current third graders in my current school. The control group will be students who have been identified as having a learning disability or struggle, but receive a traditional instruction. The experimental group is a group of students with learning disability or difficulties who receive the proper RTI instruction through SPIRE. Students will be chosen to be part of the group by their ACAP scores, and will use the end of their second grade year scores. The specific approach for this is a pretest post-test design. So our pretest will be the end of their second grade ACAP, while the post-test will be the end of their third grade year ACAP. Following the intervention, we'll compare the scores to see if growth has been made. In order to determine these students, I will collaborate with our instructional reading coach, our principal, and our academic interventionist. We'll go through the scores, look to see which students need the intervention, and choose ones that we can get access to after school. Students in third grade will be part of the population. They will receive a number, and only the project director will have access to that. Parents will be required to give consent because students will have to stay after school to receive the remediation. Students identified as having the learning difficulty or disability will receive a number, and their scores will just be identified through their number. Some threats to the study, since students are taking it at the end of their second grade year and then again at their third grade year, maturity is one of the internal threats to the validity. They'll mature between the two test administrations. However, students taking the second grade test will be tested on content taught in second grade, while students in third grade will be tested on content taught in third grade, so the test will be more aligned to what they should know. Another possible threat is internal validity. Students may become better test takers after taking it the first time because they have more experience. Second grade ACAP is the first time these students see this test and take anything like this. So once they get to third grade, they're a little more experienced and they know what's expected. We also don't want teachers to teach the test. We have to focus on the skills and standards covered on the assessment, but not focus on teaching the test. The limitations to our study will be the ability to test when the intervention is finished. Because it's a state assessment, the window is set by the state, and so we don't have any kind of flexibility on when we give the second assessment. Also, we have to wait for a while for those results to be released to us from the state. Personal limitations is going to be gaining permission for students to get the remediation after school and arranging transportations in order for the intervention to be consistent. So teachers in the study will be SPIRE trained. Most of the teachers in my current school are SPIRE trained because it's a program that we have used in the past for different groups identified, especially in the younger grades like kindergarten and first. Students will be selected based on their ACAP score, and they'll be chosen from the entire group of third grade students, and they'll be identified as having a learning disability or difficulty. Experimental groups will be the ones that receive the intervention. Academically, we want students to be on grade level or at least close enough to be proficient on the ACAP. Not being retained is our goal. We don't want students to have the social stigma of retention. We want them to be able to stay with their peers, and we also know that once students reach fourth grade, it is 4 times harder to remediate those unlearned skills. So if we can catch it early and fix it before they get to fourth grade, we have a better chance of closing those achievement gaps. I anticipate that the students will score proficient on the ACAP if they are taught the intervention program to fidelity. That is the most important part. The program has to be taught to fidelity, and all components of SPIRE have to be taught for every lesson. Students are going to be assigned based on their parents' willingness for them to receive intervention outside of school. The pre-measure study, like I said, is the second grade ACAP exam. The intervention will be 4 times a week, 45 minutes a day, and that is the recommendation of SPIRE, is for a lesson to be for 45 minutes. Students in the control group will not receive the additional intervention, and they will take the pre-test and post-test at the same time as the experimental group. The post-test will be the supplemental ACAP exam. Since I have not currently implemented my plan and plan to do that in January, I don't have any hiccups or gaps currently, but that doesn't mean that there won't be some. I just don't know what they would be, and I don't anticipate any, but I'm sure that they will arise and will have to be looked at. If the students are successful in the program, we would let them continue in the Aspire until they are tested out of the program. Aspire has 8 levels, so we would do a pre-test to determine which level they would need to start at, and once they master each level, we would move on until they test out of the program. We want students to be proficient on the ACAP and be promoted, so we don't have a high level of students being retained, and we want to give them the tools to be proficient on grade level. Here's a list of my references that I looked at for my research, and I'm excited to see what my students are able to do when they receive the right interventions taught to fidelity.